Hey, so welcome to the channel. I'm Eileen with Cleen Detailing. Now you've got your car ceramic coated, you have everything you need to do a rinseless wash, and now you're wondering what to do. So basically the purpose of this video is to give you a how-to on the process of rinseless washing, throw in some tips and tricks in there to show you kind of what to do, what to expect. I'll show you what the vehicle looks like before and what it looks like after, so you can kind of get an idea of a real world scenario and how to apply this safe process of washing your vehicle use on a bi-weekly basis or even a monthly basis. So it's definitely easy to follow. I'm going to try to keep this video really short, and that way you can have an idea of what to do and how to get it done and bring your car back to full clean status. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, and hopefully this is really informative for you, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay, so here you'll see that I have a basic 5-gallon pail, and what I'll do is I have it filled up a little under that, so we'll say probably about 4 gallons full. And usually with the rinseless solution you're doing an ounce per gallon, so I'm going to throw in 4 ounces of solution in there, mix it up. We've got the solution set. I want to show you the condition of the vehicle so you can see that it's pretty daily driven, daily dirty. This is kind of an average look for anyone's vehicle that drives it on a daily basis. This is what you would be looking at to clean every time. All right, so in this step, what I'm going to do is apply the pre-rinse using my pump sprayer on here. And I have a wide spray, so I can just make sure I cover a lot of area space on the car that's dirty. But you can actually also spin your pump sprayer head so it's a little more direct, focused more on the dirty areas of the vehicle. And so what I'll do here is hit those areas and focus mainly on the bottom of the vehicle, and we'll go to the next steps after this. Alright guys, so really quick too, I wanted to show you the different options you have for sponges for this process. So we have this black sponge. It has the little spacing there, the cubes, and what that does essentially is it traps the dirt in there while you're cleaning so it doesn't stay to the surface. Another great one is this one here, and kind of the same thing. It's really fluffy fibers, so it traps the dirt inside there so it doesn't scratch your surface while you're cleaning. 2 sides. You can also put your hand in there and use it that way. So for this one, I'll be using the black sponge, and let's get at it. I'll show you. Alright, so you want to dunk your sponge in the solution here. Make sure it's fully drenched in there. And basically what I like to do is squeeze it out so it's like kind of dripping a little bit, and then you apply it. So what I like to do is the roof first. So you take it on one side here, and then you drag it across. And you drag it across, drag it, and then what I'll do is flip it, and we'll get the glass, and we'll drag it across down here. And that's basically what you're doing. Because these surfaces are not as dirty, I'm kind of using the same side. A little more forgiving, so I know that I'm not going to scratch it in that way, but essentially if you're hitting a new spot, you want to use a different side. So I like to use these curved areas for the pillars. We'll come in here and do this pillar here. We can flip it around and do it that way. And that's it. And so we'll put it back in, and what I do when I'm in here is I just like to kind of open up by squeezing the edges here, and just kind of open up each of these little curbs, the little fingers, and get anything that's embedded in there out into the water. Squeeze it until it's kind of dripping a little bit, and then we'll move on to the hood. And so with the hood, because I know it's a surface that kind of gets a little dirtier, I'm going to be switching sides. So we'll go from that side, we'll come to the side, and do that there. Use the other side, and then use this side. Remember to open it up, so you can just make sure you get everything out of there. Now I know with the inspection that we did, the roof wasn't as bad. So we can just continue on here and know that we're pretty safe with what we're doing. And so that half of the hood is done, and you can see the difference. So now what I'll do is I'll show you this dirtier side here. And you can totally do this in your garage. I mean, my ground isn't finished or anything. It's not pretty. So I don't really care too much about it. But okay, here. So we'll do one pass here, one pass here, one pass here. And now that we're getting to the bottom, I'm going to flip my sponge around, and then I'll hit it with different sides of the sponge so that we're not moving that dirt into areas that could potentially affect the paint. So there you go, and you can see the difference on the clean side versus the dirty. So I'm going to do this pretty quickly because holding the camera slows down the process a little bit, but let me do this one side and then we'll move on to the other side so you can see what that looks like. So here on this side, what I'm going to do is apply the pre-rinse, and I'm going to kind of work my way down just so I can push the dirt in those areas down. And if you're doing this in the direct sun or outside, you can do this in pieces. You don't have to do a full side of the vehicle like I'm doing here. But essentially what we're going to do is just work our way down with the pre-rinse, and that just creates a barrier for us that kind of eliminates the possibility of scratching or marring the paint. And then we'll go down or make our way down and make sure that you flip your sponge in different areas so we're not carrying that dirt and grime up to areas that we don't want it to be. So I'll kind of use the same side for like 50 to 60% of the vehicle's surface. And then as soon as I get to the bottom area, that's when I'll flip and use a different side of the sponge. Like I said, that's just to keep, I mean, the most contaminated side of the vehicle is at the bottom. So just make sure that we are using different sides so it's not scratching up the paint. And so what I'll do is work my way down and keep going down here. And then as soon as I get to the area where it's kind of a little dirty, I'll flip over and then just use different sides of the sponge so we keep the contaminants isolated in those areas of the sponge. All right, so now that your car is fully clean, we're going to pull out our drying towel. And the great thing about using these premium drying towels is it's going to minimize the amount of scratching or marring you do on your vehicle. The drying phase is really where you find the most scratches. So here we're basically just going to glide it off the surface. I mean, with the ceramic coating, your paint is super slick. You can see it here. I mean, the towel is falling off the surface. So what I'm going to do basically is focus on the hood, go to the windshield and the roof of the vehicle. And pretty much what I'm doing here is just picking up any of the water that could fall off later. And also just kind of priming the drying towel. It works so much better when it's primed, and using the surfaces that are the least dirty is usually the best. So we'll just focus on the tops, and then we'll come and slide our way down to the glass, side door glass, and the door itself, and kind of work our way down, holding the towel, making sure that it doesn't fall or touch the ground in order to avoid scratching. All right, now that we've got our car totally dry, what we'll do is the last step is applying a quick detailer or spray sealant. This one that I'm using is made by a company called Phoenix EOD, and it is their Titan Hybrid Detailer. This product in particular is a water-based SiO2 detailer, and it is going to deliver a super slick, long-lasting hydrophobic surface. It's really safe on actually all paintwork, glass, plastic, rubber, trim, wheels, and rims if you need to use that. It's super easy to use. Within like a few minutes, you will have a super slick hydrophobic layer. I think according to the company, they say that it shines like a wax and protects like a sealant, and it definitely does. It's something that I use after every wash because it just gives an extra layer of protection. It will remain resistant against detergents and contaminants. I think somewhere up to about 3 months, depending on your use of the vehicle. But it really gives you that extra layer of protection. And also, it's a nice finishing touch after your wash. It will give you extreme gloss, and like I said, it's definitely a nice touch. You can use it also, as I'm doing here, you can use it on your glass as well, and it really just, like I said, gives a an extra layer of protection on top of your ceramic coating. And if you do that every week or every other week, I mean, it layers upon itself the amount of protection that you have on there, which is super beneficial. So once you apply that, you can apply it, like I said, over waxes, over sealants, over ceramics, and it's going to give you that really great gloss. I just wanted to show you the finished product with a little better light. You can see there that that spot we were looking at by the wheels are all gone. Let's check the other side. So yeah, this side here, I mean, it was spectacular. You notice the area here that we were looking at in the beginning of the video that was super dirty. That's all cleaned up and gone. If you follow that along the side of the vehicle, you'll see that all of those areas that we had looked at in the beginning of the video, all clean. You could definitely see from this angle here, I mean, that gloss is amazing. So definitely, I mean, under 30 minutes, we could get this full car cleaned and shined up and back to its original state. So final thoughts. Um, the rinseless will give you what you're looking for in terms of quick cleaning. You don't have to pull out the hose, the soap, the brushes. If you have places to be, you have something to do. This is definitely a great way, especially with having a ceramic coated vehicle. Really is, I mean, it's the only way I wash my car. I hardly ever pull out the hose and all that. So I hope this is helpful for you. And this is Eileen from So Cleen. See you next time.